Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning. What is it, the 3rd? It's the 3rd. We had, what a day yesterday. Oh my gosh. It was like thousands of retail traders tried out and were suddenly silenced. Everybody's short. Oh, well, actually, I take that back because there was a lot of people short in Discord, but then when I was looking back on the move, it looks like that most of you guys were in line with the trend. So good for you guys. By the way, didn't we say when I left yesterday, hey, they got above 30.15. They could potentially move up more. So they did. But it was kind of weird. They moved back first. So this is where we were looking at. We were like, over here? No. Let's see here. So they opened up higher. Sorry, they opened lower. Retraced it, came back down. We were like somewhere up in here when we left. Look at this area right here. Look at all the distribution up in there through the lunch hour. So the shorts were fighting it. There was people going short. And then this thing, holy crap. A little bit of low volume through there though. So we might try and, they might come back to this ledge here at 30, 35 or so. It's super interesting. But, and the number of distributions, right? 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4, 5. I'd be really surprised if we had another huge update today. I would expect today would be more of like a consolidation day, just like yesterday was the biggest update we've ever had, apparently. And so probably makes sense to have some consolidation. Treasuries, oh, they got slaughtered. Look at that. Well, they were up too high anyways. But they could sit around in this area. I don't know. I mean, when you look at the chart like that, it's like, holy crap, guys. Maybe bonds are too high. I don't know. But because the reason, I think part of the reason, well, so let's come back over here. So it gets interesting when you start talking about why did it happen. So one of the theories that I was seeing on my Facebook, some of the more liberal of my friends on Facebook were absolutely convinced that the reason the market rallied was because Amy Klobuchar dropped out. And that decreases the chances of a Bernie Sanders presidency, and that's why the markets were rallying. I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Market doesn't think Bernie Sanders is going to win. They don't care what happens in the Democrat primary. But apparently there are some people that think that. But another question is central bank easing. I don't know if central bank easing really helps the downturn all that much, but I don't know if you really have to do anything anyways, because once, spring comes around, it's probably going to die off anyways. So is free money? I don't know. One theory. But I personally think that it's just that we went too far and we had to retrace. That means that, hey, we could totally go lower. I mean, I'd be really skeptical of like a V-shaped bottom, but usually it gets really, really wild down there at the bottom. And they haven't quite done that yet, so we'll see. Biggest update ever, and then, yeah, I think that we could have another really bad down day, and it could just go all over the place. Anyways, I wanted to look over here. I keep trying to tell these guys, over at Wall Street Bets, man. It makes me so frustrated. Listen, if you want to day trade, trade futures. You're watching? Any of you guys from Wall Street Bets watching? Trade futures if you want to day trade. Okay, it's a much better setup than this bullshit that you guys are doing with options on Robinhood. I just can't imagine trading options with a Robinhood account. Are you kidding me? Like trading on Thinkorswim was kind of questionable, right? Like I had lots of guys that were trading futures with Thinkorswim and had problems this last week. So I can't believe that you would be trading options on like tens of thousands of dollars in options. Let's look. There's a couple of them. Let's see if I can find them. Oh, so here's apparently Robinhood. Well, if you're not familiar with what happened, Robinhood was down. Robinhood was down, and so all of the retail traders were stuck in their positions. Gamer Through the Ages asks, what about Forex? So yeah, but looking into futures, the costs are just a bit higher. And yeah, that's the thing that you're going to find. Listen, if it's worth something, if you can make money from doing it, then they're going to ask you more money up front, right? So yeah, you have to pay for data every month. You have to have a certain size account, which is going to be a little bit larger than what you can do in Forex. Although it's getting lower now because of the micro futures. Okay, but I have a video that is like why you shouldn't trade Forex. But the basic gist of it is that your broker makes money trading against you, essentially, and so I would not recommend Forex. But the other big reason is that you just don't get all of the data. And this is the biggest problem that I have with almost everything else that I see in retail trading and is kind of my primary thing. Look at your screen right now. Can you get that in Forex? You can't get that in Forex. Can you get that in options? Maybe, but not on Robinhood. Right? I can see every order. How are you supposed to trade? Trade, meaning making short-term decisions based on what other orders are doing. If you can't even see the orders, so you're not trading. You're doing arbitrage, or you're just placing. You're just gambling, right? Anyways, try futures. Oh, man, some of these things down in here. Let's see if I can find them. Some of these people. I saw this one. Oh, man. I tried to exit this morning. Well, he didn't. Oh, okay. He lost a lot. Wow. $100,000? What? It doesn't show the graph of his profit and loss is what I was looking for. He lost $100,000. My gosh. This guy lost. Looks like $30,000. Oh, man. Oh, his trading is awful. Oh, no, wait. He YOLO'd it and made it back. That's funny. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, this guy, that right there, this pattern. You notice that been happening to me in the in the micro. Like I'll take a short, okay? Let's say I'll take a short, and it'll come against me like a little bit, and then it starts coming back, and you think, okay, maybe it might come back, and I can scratch it, or maybe I'll get a strong enough impulse, and I can stay in it. But it'll come back a little bit, and then they go, nope, we're gonna stop you out, boosh, all the freaking time. That one is, and it's like the mental game when that's happening. It's like you want so hard to think that it's gonna come back, but it probably isn't. In that case, I have a stop, so like it's probably okay. But man, this one, if you don't have a stop, or you don't, it just goes. It just goes. How are these people risking so much money? I don't know. I think some of them are just rich, and well, actually, there's a couple of ways you can do it, right? One way is that you can start with a really small account and just go for grand slams, and eventually you get lucky, right? John Grady talks about this once, right? He had a friend that, in his book, he talks about this. In his course, No BS Trading, he talks about he had a friend that got lucky on options, and he was up hundreds of, like, millions of dollars or something like that, and he kept doing those trades and losing, and he lost it all. And if he had just said, okay, I got lucky, let's just stop doing this now, pay off the house, take the rest of this and trade what I'm good at, the futures, and he would have been good for the rest of his life, but he didn't. Some people will, like, literally student loans. I've literally seen people with student loans. Man, this guy had so many puts. Holy fetch. Look at that. His biggest one, he had Royal Caribbean puts, and he lost $125,000 on it. $298 just in commissions. But he wasn't on Walls. He wasn't on Robinhood, so good. There's that. I think this is the one that I was looking at. Oh yeah. No. That's not it. There's this one that was like, he was up $30,000 and then he lost it. Oh, we got a signal. I don't know about that. Because it's at the beginning of the hour, I can't really make sense of that one. So let's just see where it goes. I think it's too early to take an E-mini trade. I saw so many of these. Some of them are just straight down, right? Actually, this pattern is happening a lot on a lot of these, aren't it? Isn't it? Student loan loss porn. Okay, so here you go. This is a perfect example. This guy, he traded his student loans, and he lost $7,000. Spy puts. See, like, this is the one that drives me crazy. Is like your spy puts. Why? Hey, go and trade the E-mini. Way safer. You get just as much leverage, but you can get out where you need to. And you get data, and it's all sitting in front of you. You have complete control over it. That much leverage on your phone? Are you kidding me? These people. Which book? No, I'm talking about nobsdaytrading.com beginner's course. John Grady talks about kind of his mentor. Hit it big on options once and then lost it all. Man. Student loans. Here's another one, Red Hat. Or sorry, every time I see RH, I think Red Hat is a Robin Hood. Robin Hood. Oh. I saw one. I maybe it's like buried. But he was started with like I think $10,000, and he had made it up like to 30,000. And then when he wasn't able to get out of his options yesterday, he went down to 3,000. Oh, here it is right here. Yeah, here it is right here. And the chart is just, oh, come on. Imger's giving me grief. The chart is just hilarious, right? Like, he was doing good, cool. Hey, I caught the big winner, didn't take the profits. Buddish. Ugh, can you believe how awful that would be? That would feel. Like if I blow a few $100s in micro futures, I just feel awful. Like I had that day after the whole Brexit thing where I lost $500 in a day. Like, the market just went wild, and I clicked thinking that, like, oh, okay, like, that was just a fluke. And then it was like 10 flukes in a row. And I was like, oh, wait, I should stop. And I had already lost $500. And then I had to go and watch. We went to the ultrasound for my baby. So I'm supposed to be enjoying. Man, I think that was like one of the low points of my life, man. Was losing $500 and then feeling bad about it while I'm looking at my son's ultrasound. Oh, so bad. So bad. Show me the volume. What are your PC specs? So I am running a AMD 1700X processor. So a little bit older of a processor now. When I bought it, it was nice. It was so nice when I bought it. And I'm running a GeForce 1060 GT video card. And I think I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. Asus motherboard. Greed is always the factor for lots of people. Yeah, it's so weird. We talk a lot about how we're wired to care more about the losses. But I think one of the things that we don't realize is that it's not just to care more about the losses, but like the potential losses. And like when there's the potential to gain something and we don't catch it, that we consider that a loss. And so that's like where the greed comes in, is like, it's going down. This is like a crazy market turn. And you think maybe it could be, maybe we could enter a bear market. Hey, it still could. It still could. But you don't want to miss that. And so you just go all in on puts, and then you don't actually know what you're doing. Because if you did, you wouldn't be trading tens of thousands of dollars in options with Robinhood. You would go and find a real broker. And the FOMO kills, for sure. And it does it to everybody. It's done it to me many, many, many times. Okay, Win. Are you ready for Super Tuesday? The flu or whatever Asher has planned for you today? No. No. He's been doing okay. This guy actually made some money. That was one that I wanted to show, though. Holy crap. Tripled his money. And then lost it all. Tripled his money and then lost it all. Hold on, I need to open up the chat here. We should, since I'm trying to clickbait all the Wall Street Bets viewers, I should like put the whole name in there. Man. But the whole point of that is, if I somehow am able to get any of the Wall Street Bets guys coming, because when I post on the subreddit, everybody just like, there's so much crap going on there, and most of the people don't really even understand what I'm talking about, so they just kind of ignore it. It's really hard to catch traction on there, but guys, if you want to day trade, like, don't go and buy SPY puts. If you need leverage, trade futures. Trade futures if you want to make directional bets on the market like that. A much, much safer. I mean, they probably don't care about safer, but listen, you get better data, you get better brokers, you have way more control over your position and what you're looking at. With futures, is tendies supposed to be trendies, or is tendies a term for something? You're not familiar with tendies?
Gary Rich says if people use Robinhood app and lose. Suckers. No free lunch.
Man. Listen. If the product is free, you are the product. Remember that. True in trading is that anywhere else. They sell that Robinhood makes most of its money selling order flow. Do you really want to trade in a place where the whole business is basically to show the robots what you're doing so that they can trade against you? Ugh. No thanks. Okay, so Winston, the term tendies is a term that they use on Wall Street bets frequently, but it originally started on the Donald subreddit on Reddit. And the joke was there was on the night that I think it was when Hillary Clinton lost or something. It was after one of the big political races. This guy told a story about how he was so upset about his candidate losing that when his mom brought in some chicken tenders, he hit the tenders and all over the floor in a fit of rage. He just didn't realize how upset he was about Hillary Clinton losing. And but he used tendies. He literally said tendies, and so it's this copy pasta that's been going around, that tendies. And so that's where it comes from. So tendies is become slang for when somebody is really upset. Yeah.
IDK says, hey man, how have you been doing these days? Good profits?
Yeah, well, so on last Tuesday I kind of like really screwed up by trading much later than I should. So I made a mistake, and I'm still not super experienced in the index futures yet. So I think we're learning, and this market move was really good for me. Traded a lot. I think though in this kind of action I don't really have a ton of edge because it's just real. I really like a tight stop, and it's really hard to hold a tight stop, right? So I've been trading it on Sim a lot to not lose anymore. And that's kind of what I recommend if you're in a spot and you know that you don't have an edge. That said, I think that I came out net profitable from my sim trading the last 4 or 5 sessions or whatever the deal is. So we've been doing okay. And we got this signal that we're working on. Like I said, we had, what was it? It was a short, wasn't it? Yeah. We had that short. That short would have been stopped out, but now we're a little bit lower. Yeah. But that was that signal, that little elevator bell sound. I tried to make it sound like the sound that the airplane makes when you call the flight attendant. That's where I was getting it from.
Winston's mom says Larry Kudlow has said, no worries, buy the dip, I think he should worry. It's may get ugly out there.
Well, I think that what we had happen yesterday just kind of shows how, in this kind of environment, don't get married to a position, because it's exactly when we all think that the things are the worst that it turns around on us. You know?
Kaka Silva says also that they don't have website, shows how scam. Bots says 2,991.25 is halfway back for yesterday's ES move up off the lows, ETH session.
You really think that we will retrace that far back? Well, I get what you're saying, right? Because the trade is we tend to retrace 50%. I kind of think that we already did that though, right? Let's come back to this chart. Let's see if I can make the case to you. Okay. Maybe not. Let's see. I think that the move was this. Well, so there was this move, right? Oops. Gosh dang it. I hate it when that happens. There we go. Okay. There was that one. Then there was this one. So on this one, it looks like they weren't really able to retrace it. But I don't know if that applies from day to day. I don't know. I think that it's more likely, well, 91 is just pretty far back there, right? But 3020 is first, right? That naked point of control from yesterday, 3020. I'm much more interested in that spot. If we sell. If we sell. But look at the bars here. Still pretty big bars. And then we come back over here. They're putting 1,000 up on the DOM. There's still a few dozen in the E-mini. Yeah, that's still not very good trading conditions for me.
Winston's mom says I woke up late and you appeared to be live streaming, but it was late afternoon, so I left you a comment that your channel was still live streaming. I left the comment in the chat.
Oh, that's funny. Sometimes it does that. So maybe I forgot to close it. Let's just double check. Yeah. I don't know. We got a lot of views yesterday, though. Not nearly as many as we got when we were talking about gold being down.
Uzi Knesset says so. Robinhood took a shit because it was fetching data from the wrong day.
Right?
Lol.
I mean, Robinhood hasn't confirmed it, but people were showing that the application was throwing errors because they did not factor in leap year. And so they were trying to catch that it was searching for the third or whatever.
IDK says Jigsaw will put charts into Daytrader platform.
Well, that's what I hear. I believe that Pete said that. I don't know when it's going to happen, though. It might be a long, long time.
Gary Rich says, Seth, did you eventually check on the rabbit?
So I asked my wife about it yesterday. I'm like, is the rabbit, what's the rabbit doing? Is the rabbit okay? And she's like, oh, she's just a rabbit. This is the thing that gets me about the rabbit is that my wife is just so unconcerned about it. I was like, this thing, it's in the cage. It was not meant to. She's chewing through the plastic. She's like, no, I've been checking on it. She hasn't been continuing to bite so that she can get through into the floor, but probably I need to replace that piece of plastic. That's what the rabbit is doing. And I'm kind of concerned because, well, maybe I should test it, but I think maybe I'm afraid to touch it. And I always like wash my hands and everything, but I'm afraid that like I'm allergic to it or something. Yeah.
Bots says 50% retracement level is just a guide. If a move lower develops, we can use the level as gauge of how deep the pullback was.
Yeah,
Having
sure.
said that, it is a level that we often see tested.
When you first said that, I thought, well, yeah, but didn't we already kind of have the pullback? I mean, you could argue that we did, but that they didn't get 50%. I don't know. But you're totally right on one thing, though, is that you have to expect some consolidation here. Okay, well, the E-mini is moving around in a way that I could potentially take a trade. Well, at least on Sim. I can do this right here. No. The liquidity is so low. Look, I'm 6 in line. Really?
Gary Rich says good, now I can have a good day now that the rabbit is fine. Winston's mom says rabbit may be bored. Perhaps rabbit needs a friend.
Oh yes, that's what I need is another rabbit. You're not helping. Not helping. Well, she does have a friend. She has Abby. And supposedly Abby does play with her when I'm not looking. So, well, we missed that one. That was the trade. It was too stingy on that one. I should have paid up for 63.
Winston's mom says flight attendant Bell, seat first class 1A, would like some peanuts please and maybe an orange juice if you have one. Thank you. Bots says 50% based on yesterday's ETH low to ETH high has not been retested since the high was put in at the end of the day.
one of the things also is that there was so much. It was a weird move, like just from looking at the volume profile, it looks to me like that sellers really fought it hard. You know, look at that go. Oh, so FOMO right now. It was like too late. The thing is I saw that they were selling, and I was looking for the stop run. I saw the stop run down, and then it came back up, and I was a little hesitant to click the order in, but that was where I wanted to take it. So it was a little slow. A little slow.
Winston's mom says rabbits are prey animals and do not really enjoy being picked up, but they are smart enough to need a little stimulation. Some playtime.
Yeah, exactly. This is the problem with rabbits. Rabbits actually make really great pets. They can make really great pets. Just not for most people. Most people, your best bet is going to be a dog, right? Dog interacts with you. Dog loves people. Bunny is not like that. A bunny is like, you got to be quiet and gentle and earn its trust. And, if you like quiet play, then eventually you can get your rabbit to the point where you can develop a good relationship with them and, all this stuff. But that is not going to be your average child's. And so when the child wants a rabbit, they don't really want a rabbit. They don't actually want a rabbit.
Sheldon Beck says, do you think Apple will keep going up today?
Well, I can't say. So you gotta understand, I'm not really huge on individual stocks. I'm more of a macro player. And I try to keep really, really short term. Like if I'm gonna like outright predict something, I'll tell you like, okay, here's my feeling on it, but I try to make it clear that I'm not like predicting that that's gonna happen. I only try and, if I do make a prediction, I want to take a trade on it, right? That said, generally speaking, after a move like we had yesterday, there's going to be some consolidation. So it's possible that we have another strong update, but I would rather see some consolidation. So, and also, Apple, some of these names, like Apple in particular, I think might take a really long time to completely recover. So I don't think that we have to jump into that one today, There might be more opportunities to get it at a good price. I don't know. That one, we would have to really do the analysis on their supply chain and what the actual impact on that company would be. Because all I know is from looking at the chart, the technical analysis of the chart was that before this move down, they were parabolic. So, of course, they were going to come back hard.
Winston's mom says maybe you need ferrets. Lol.
I tell you what, I find ferrets really interesting. I see them on TikTok a lot, and I was like, that looks like the greatest pet ever, except for that they smell. First squawk, coronavirus update, Wuhan, Hanan seafood market to be demolished, which was claimed to be the origin of the virus. Ooh. German caucus chief, no stimulus package needed due to virus. Oh, that's interesting. New York Fed accepts $100 billion in bids at overnight repo operation. That's interesting, Sheldon. Thanks for the response. No problem. Hey, listen, guys. If you're listening, you're lurking, you have a question, just ask, because I think that one of the things that's great about our community is that we're just big enough We're just big enough to always have something going on in interaction, but we're not so big that if you're new that you can't get your bit of time, you know? And if you ask a question and I like don't completely answer it, or I miss it because there's other stuff going on, you ask it again. It's totally fine.
Gary Rich says Seth buy a snake or gator. Rabbit, bird goes sleepy sleep.
They would be so upset, dude. So upset. I was saying I told you guys this story before, right? I said so when the rabbit dies, are you gonna, have them do the rabbit's foot thing? Because that's the thing, right? And they're like, ew, no. She had never heard of that before, and she was so horrified. She was so horrified.
Winston's mom says Inovio, this company is getting talked about. Do you know who they are? Pharmaceuticals. Do they still kill a rabbit?
Well, no, you wait until it dies of natural causes, of course. I think I actually have heard of that one because isn't that on the top 10 most traded securities yesterday? I think that somebody else has told us about that company. 74. I'm looking at the start of the hour here at 3077 or so. I'm kind of wondering like why they're not. There's some liquidity there. I don't know. It's a little weird. It's not encouraging to me. We started to have pretty strong up movement, but they didn't get to the 77. That is giving me a little bit of pause here. They could totally turn back down and just go lower. Like that's what would tend to happen is you would either get like 1 or 2 bars of blue on the hour and then turn back down. Plus the bonds are all trending above their moving averages too. So I don't think, in fact, okay. No, wrong spot. Wrong spot. Oh, okay. Well, let's see if we get lucky. You don't want to take a trade and then it immediately goes a point against you though, right? On slippage. Yeah. I could maybe take it again though. Let's see. No.
Sheldon Beck says I am only asking because I have multiple options calls and they are doing well right now, but I either can tail profits now or hold on and hope they continue up this week.
Well, so my recommendation for that is that when you're taking a trade, you really need to calculate out what the probabilities are and what you need to be able to make on that trade for it to be worth it. And if you've made that amount, then you take your profits. Of course, you can let them run, but I personally am not one to hold things like overnight. You know what I mean? So, if you've gotten what you need from it, it's totally reasonable to take it off if you're concerned about it.
Sheldon Beck says overall though we should expect markets to consolidate this week. Markets aren't ready to climb back to where they were just yet, huh? Sheldon Beck says I am only asking because I have multiple options calls and they are doing well right now, but I either can tail profits now or hold on and hope they continue up this week. Gary Rich says your wife is wearing carrying cow skin with shoes and purse. Rabbit's foot, no big deal.
No, I don't think she has anything like that.
Sheldon Beck says yay, thank you, that was excellent advice.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. It's kind of hard with options because every trade is unique, right? With futures, I know exactly. Okay, I'm risking 8. I want to make 8 or whatever it is. Okay, now I can come back in here. Hopefully, I can catch a good. No, it's gonna be. See, it's just impossible.
Sheldon Beck says, I guess it's just the gambler in me that wants to let it run and see how high we can go. Haha.
I totally understand. Okay. That's a little bit better. This is the perfect example of why I was saying that I've just been on sim, because it's just impossible to hold 2 points of risk in this market. There's just not enough liquidity. You can see the spots where you can take it and everything, but the chances of them stopping you out is still really high. Because I want to scalp.
Sheldon Beck says, but we all know what happens to the value of some option calls after a day of negative.
Yeah. Well, that's another really good point about options is like, how much theta decay do you have left on that thing? Because the longer that you hold it, the chances that a lot of that theta goes away. And especially since we just had some really wild markets, if we continue to go up, you could see the volatility come down significantly.
Winston's mom says, Sheldon Beck, are you familiar with MBTI? The gambler, do you test as an ESTP? Your shadow function knows BWAHAHA, the trickster.
But if the volatility, if everything just turns out to be like a hunky dory good, then the volatility could go down, and that means that the value of all the options is going to decrease. You're in going long the calls after a big market run is kind of a hard trade, because you make money on it going up, but you're going to lose a lot from the volatility decreasing in the theta.
Sheldon Beck says it goes to your point about not holding overnight.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're a day trader, then I say, yeah, you don't want to hold overnight. You only want to hold it when you're at the computer, because that's the whole point of the day trading, is that you can manage it by hand. And yeah, you're not going to make as much as if you just buy and hold, but you'll be more consistent. I think that one was
says it's all good. The goal is make money. Winston's mom says sexy robot voice, BWAHAHA, is pronounced as BWA haha.
I wonder how, because I think that Google uses machine learning to figure that out, because we've had times where like it said it one way and then a few weeks later it changed. So we'll see.
Winston's mom says close enough.
Donald Trump is tweeting. New book by Charlie Kirk, already #1. Okay. Now if it comes back down again, I'm wonder if I should take it or not, because I don't know. It is a be tough call. You know what? I need to change some things about my chart here so that I can see.
Winston's mom says he was tweeting late last night. I saw one around 1:30-ish am.
I don't really need the price marker on this chart. I want to see where that moving average is at. Was he tweeting late at night? It kind of depends on what kind of a tweet it was, huh? Let's see here. Oh, he's been tweeting a ton this morning.
Bot says I like the way it pronounces S as S instead of pronouncing ES.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was.
Sheldon Beck says the price movement that happens pre-market doesn't actually affect the prices of options until the minute markets really open, right?
I don't know if there's really any way to say because the
RZH says
options
S.
aren't open yet, right? They will decide where to open when it starts. So normally the way that this works, like at least in futures, is like before the market opens, people can put their liquidity up, and that's how they kind of determine where the opening price is, and then they
RZH
start
says
opening trade.
SSS.
Where do I get the price? How do I turn off? John will know. How do I turn off the price marker? Maybe it's in properties. Properties. I can see where I can change the color for the price marker.
Gary Lost 34 says it seems jigsaw charts are almost ready. Pete posted a chart on the blog.
Oh, did he really? Let's go look. What does it look like? Blog. Blog.
Bots says visible setting near price marker color. Look in data series. RZH says Seth buy the pullback in a mini, it's going up.
Oh. Yeah, well, I think we missed our opportunities to do that, unfortunately. Oh, I had to expand it. Okay, cool. Wait, I did that.
Gary Lost 34 says simple daily chart but promising. Winston's mom says speculator Seth, you had an idea the other day about face masks. Have you played around anymore with this idea? I think at some point, you could make a tidy profit when everyone decides they need them.
That didn't do it. I turned off a visible, but it's still there. Play. Right. That doesn't do anything. Oh, maybe it's because I need to turn it off on both of these. Ta-da! There we go. Oh, so does that mean on the 60-minute?
Bot says what chart are you looking at?
Sheldon
Beck says at
Winston's it was the one that I had two data series on. So that comes to the next thing, which is auto scale off on this one. Thank you. Cool. All right. Well, there it is up.
Bot says you must have multiple time frames showing.
Yeah. It was the one where I had the hour bars on it. So I just went in there and I also turned it so that the second price series wasn't auto scaling the chart, so I can see things a little better.
RZH says I bought at 2,930, stop at 2,860.
Well, now we're green. Would need to see a really good spot to take it, though. The 10 years on a pretty good turn down. Oh, man. I don't know. If they come down to my spot, 3078. They probably have enough volume up there. It's not like a super overextended, though, so it's a little questionable. Also, kind of the level 2 changes is kind of being funky.
Sheldon Beck says, man, I really like this channel. Glad I found it. I like the size of the live stream, more personal.
Right?
Winston's
That's really
mom
good.
says Sheldon Beck MBTI is a personality typing model used in business. Developed by Briggs Myers based on Carl Jung's work, this was used after World War II to help organize everyone. Later socionics built on this.
See, something's definitely happening, like somebody trying to... Okay, yeah. That one happened way too fast. How did they... Wow. Really? Okay, well, it filled me. I don't know. It's a little too... Yeah, see, like that. They come up and stop me out again, huh? Yep.
Bots says ES is forming an inside bar on the 60-minute time frame beside the prior 60-minute bar was an outside bar.
Yeah.
Winston's mom says Sheldon Beck, Wells Fargo and other companies including Google now type their employees to understand where their skills, talents, preferences are best suited.
I think for this particular signal, trading it on an inside bar is totally okay.
Sheldon Beck says, could you explain what you are looking at right now and what moves you are making? Smiley face.
But the liquidity is just too low. Okay, so what I'm looking at, Sheldon, is I'm basically looking for a situation in which the price gets too far away from the volume. So I can show it here on the chart. We'll just hold that one and see what happens. So do you see how there was a lot of trade? These purple bars are like the point of control. So there was a lot of trade going up in here, and then they careened through this moving average here. And so that's enough momentum that a significant number of market participants start going short. And so you start to have a situation where all of these longs up in here can get stopped out. But I don't know. So you can see there in cumulative delta, this is market buys versus market sells. I don't know if we should be expecting a ton from this. But we did get some pretty favorable excursion on it. Would like to take it right there, maybe. 4. Yeah, so 4 points would be a reasonable expectation in
Sheldon Beck says that's super interesting, thank you.
Yeah. Is it going to come down and fill me? It's pushing down there and it's coming up a little bit short. Man, the way it moves is super nerve-wracking, let's say. Oh, I was looking for the jigsaw chart. I'll have to come back to that a little bit later. I'll open up Twitter here while we're focused.
Gary Lost 34 says good volume at 77.50, holding that.
Yeah, well, there's a point in the profile there, isn't there? They did get all the way down to 75.
RZH says if it goes down again to 2,940, 2,950, would you buy it and hold it up to high 3,390?
Oh man, if I could hold a trade like that, man, ING would have to have a really clear trend all the way for me to hold something like that. So this is interesting. They definitely had a really strong downturn, and now everything since that is basically been inside of it. We haven't made a new 5-minute bar yet, so you wouldn't see it on the 5-minute bar as an inside bar yet, but we're definitely in an inside area.
Gary Lost 34 says let's see if 77.050 now old the downside. Winston's mom says 25 watching now. Please hit like to help speculators its channel numbers. He shoots for around 20 likes to help YouTube recognize his channel and perhaps pay him. Lol.
Perhaps maybe. We're doing okay. I pushed my video yesterday about why you should trade futures, and I was really surprised with how well it did. I just posted a couple of links around and people responded really positively to it. So we're doing really well. Okay, yeah, now the treasuries are hitting up into a spot where they could turn. Interesting. Let's see what they're doing there. 24.5. It's not showing me anything too interesting. It's just kind of standard action at the moment. Oh, look, that buy is following through in the ES. And that dog really wants out of his kennel this morning for some reason.
RZH says wait, it seems you unhappy with that trade.
Oh, now it gives me the ding. That one's too late.
Ace Trade says morning.
I'm not unhappy with it. What I'm unhappy about is these other ones that I had to, I tried finagling it around. I'm taking it multiple times, not because I think that that's the way to trade it, but because this market is so volatile. I just want to give it a chance to see.
Sebastian Marquez says executed iceberg order in 3076.00.
If it catches it.
Says speculator Seth, I have an idea that if your title includes a description that you are a live streaming community, this will it easier for people who want to engage in conversation in the morning.
I could put live stream in the title. That might be a good idea. Let me think about the right way to put that in terms of like keywords and how that would affect the algorithm. No, so what I was doing was like if it does go, I wanted to be in it so that I had the practice of managing that trade, and seeing it run, and that one I just had to.
Winston's mom says people are looking for a clubhouse environment, eager to engage, and they are willing to find conversations about anything if the people in the community are active and interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think what's going on in our society is we're just not. Oh man, look at it go. We're just not get enough community interaction anymore because people don't do stuff with their neighborhood anymore. There's some iceberging going on at 24.5. Even though the E-mini just like really took off there. The treasuries didn't sell. Somebody buying it and holding it. Now some selling at 24.5.
Lucas says good morning speculator Seth and people.
Hey Lucas, there you are.
Winston's mom says Flatland, welcome to the first wave of Flatland.
I don't know what the deal is. It's just like people don't trust their neighbors
Sheldon
anymore.
Beck says yay, putting live stream is a good move. I actually didn't know which ones were live streamed at first when I found this.
Yeah, well, I've been treating it like I try and treat each video as that like it's just a regular video. So I try and put a lot of effort into having a pretty good open. But I always screw up somehow. Like this morning, I hadn't finished swallowing my food before it. I thought, oh, I'll stuff my face with a muffin, and then the intro will go. And by the time the intro is done, I'll have eaten it. And it didn't work out that way. They want to try and capture them. So the people that watch it on replay, they watch the beginning of the video. They're captivated from the very beginning and don't want to watch a lot of it. And the stats do show that people on replay do watch quite a bit of it. I'm quite surprised. But you're right. We could say, well, I put live day trading.
Sheldon Beck
futures.
says ha ha ha.
We could just say live streaming. Live streaming day trading futures like that.
Winston's mom says Sheldon Beck, we have played around with funny titles and speculator Seth, tell Sheldon who needs bongos, Big Bang Theory reference, about your funniest most watched titles.
Yeah, when we started changing the title every day, it really helped the channel out. It like doubled the number of views that we were getting. Man, that was a strong turn up. they're kind of coming just short of
RZH
the open
says
of the
risk
previous
reward is
hour.
in your favor.
Is it long? I don't know about that. What I am noticing is that
Bot says that mouthful of muffin is your usual mo. You're our version of the Cookie Monster, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing.
I love how it reads out the smileys. I don't know. I feel like that last move up was like really strong. If they turn back down, we could once again get a really strong downturn. It's just sketchy. I don't know. We're probably to the point now where it doesn't make a lot of sense to take a trade. By the way, I saw Ace in there. Good morning, Ace. Did you get my Ninja Trader indicators? And get those in Ninja Trader. I will wait. Market open. Sometimes it reads them late.
Lucas says I will wait for market open and from there maybe wait another 20 to 30 minutes more.
Let's see what guys are saying in Discord. I don't know.
RZH says God, I have a bad connection here.
Really? Oh, today I haven't actually dropped any frames yet.
RJ Wheel says good strat Lucas. Even an hour. So many trades all day.
Man, he must really need to go to the bathroom or something, because maybe I should go let him out, because it's getting a little ridiculous. So the treasury's ticking up there at 24.5 is really interesting. I'm seeing man, I don't know if I can take this one. Sure, I'll try
Lucas
it.
says yup, I pulled 4 points already. It's less in these conditions though. I am risking probably 3 points on each trade.
Okay. I'm seeing a possibility that they come back down, but I'll see that already a point against me.
RJ Wheel says trading what Lucas? Lucas says when you think about it, Seth is not that crazy. 3 points in MES is 1 tick in ZN.
Yeah.
Lucas says MES wheel.
The thing is, they seem to be positively correlated. The treasuries held 24.5, and the equities seem to really like that. Mm-hmm. They're not actually making new cumulative delta highs in the E-mini either. So maybe they have more room to go. Probably, though, the open's going to change all that. So let's just wait. Just the sweeps are just, man. It's because it's sweeping more than 2 points at once. Let's see what the guys are seeing in the ES room.
Block buy.
Ooh. Huh. Wait, but they came back to the 24.5 there. Where was the block buy at? 24. Oh, that's really interesting. Somebody might be preparing to short the market on the open. I don't have like a strong feeling that that's what's going to happen, but based on the way that they're trading it, that's a possibility.
Andre Santos says me. RZH says S was down 16%. It could have gone 20% before that pullback happens. I think you should practice on longer term ideas as well.
I really want to practice this one trade. But of course, part of it is that this is just the worst action for that trade.
Andre
because you
Santos
really
says
want
little
high
bit
risk.
higher before I go short.
I think if I was swing trading it, well, I always like to wait for the open a little bit first.
Bots says they're preparing to short what market on the open?
I think they might be preparing to short the E-mini on the open.
Lucas says are brokers increasing overnight margins on this conditions?
Probably not.
Bots says you looking at your 10-year or the ES?
No. So what happened was the 10-year bought from 24.5 to 25. Now they're failing it. But basically this went up and this went up. So one possibility is that the indexes are moving up on expectations of monetary
Sebastian
easing.
Marquez says 3 minutes.
One option is that somebody is preparing to go short in the E-mini, and that's why they're buying so many bonds. You can see him still doing it, right? He's still kind of holding that 24.5 area. And the treasuries kind of look like they right on the edge. Like they're actually selling it. Even though this area is holding, the delta is negative. And you can even see now here as we get closer to it. Okay, and there's a short. Right. Well, we'll try it even though. Don't do this. Yeah, of course.
IDK says where did you get the composite for Ninja? Is it free?
The composite. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Ugh.
Winston's mom says
long
elevator
into it.
going up. What's up, Koala? The URL bar. Oh wait, that one's just for us chatbots.
No, that one doesn't look good to me. Yeah. Shit. Part of this is I'm just taking shorts, huh?
Winston's
In what
mom
has
says
been
bust in
overall a long
silhouette.
trend.
That joke sucked. Koala, I hear ya. Thanks for the feedback. Note to self, cancel performance at bot comedy night.
That little run is a little surprising to see just so close into the open in it.
IDK says I mean the volume profile on the candlestick chart.
You mean like the little purple lines that I have on the candlesticks? Or are you talking about this one over here? This one is built into NinjaTrader. If you have the license. It seems like an awful lot of activity here.
IDK says yes, this.
Oh, there you go. I guess I answered it. I don't know which one we're talking about, but
IDK says okay, thanks.
yeah, the one that's built into NinjaTrader. Yeah, look at that. See the selling on the open? Pretty heavy selling on the open, in fact. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to open down. It's just we're getting some selling on the open. That their first move is down. So that's kind of what I was suspecting. Oh man, look at that one run.
Andre Santos says CYA guys. Andre Santos says okay, I am done. Andre Santos says quickest trade ever.
Yeah. That was something else. I should have held that one. I would see. I think that they might try and get to 30.77. But I was seeing it as we were beyond the average true range. I got 6 points, and the average true range is 4 or 5 right now. So I wanted to take profits.
Block sell.
Okay. So there's two sides to this thing. So the market action that we're seeing right now would be favorable towards consolidation because you have a disagreement in the market between buyers and sellers, both trying to push in this area between 80 and 90. You see that? Like the sellers didn't just go, oh, okay. No, they were like, all right, cool. This is our spot. We're going to buy it here. So consolidation for sure. Donald Trump tweeting, Mini Mike Bloomberg can never recover from his incompetent debate performances. Also, as mayor, he was very bad under pressure. A choker.
Winston's mom says bye. Andre Santos happy Tuesday.
Yeah,
Lucas says SRY Mr. Argument. You mean markets might be balancing around these levels after the panic?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, normally after a really, really strong update, you're going to see some consolidation. But what I'm seeing right here, there was a pretty strong sell on the open. Treasuries are moving up. But buyers in the E-mini did not just capitulate right away.
RJ Wheels says
bought.
The full court press by media to push Biden is in full battle mode.
You think so? I don't know if I'm seeing it from the media, but definitely it seems to me that the Democrat Party, the smart people in the Democrat Party realize that Bernie Sanders would be a disaster for the party and are doing everything they can.
Watch MSNBC. They're shameless.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can to stop Bernie. And so I don't think that Amy or Pete really think that Joe Biden is a strong candidate or anything like that. But he was the one that happened to have the best shot, and so they all gave in and put their support behind him. I don't know if the media is pushing it per se, but I haven't really been watching the television networks. When I look online,
Air Cages says hello, Seth. Hello, how are you, man?
You're
Hi.
a little late today. When you look online, it's like, man,
Uzi Knesset says they're consolidating support so Biden gets the most delegates.
yeah,
They tactically dropped out of the race, it's kinda interesting lol.
right? It's
Antenna Wild says they are all in, for Biden. Biden has no grassroots support. Just like Clinton. No difference between Biden and Clinton, except Hillary had a bigger dick. RJ Wheels says watch Morning Joe. Winston's mom says Bernie Sanders is the far right wing of the party and he is not really a moderate Democrat but a social Democrat. The moderates are the majority and he is hard to swallow for most Middle Earthers. Uzi Knesset says ha 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 ha.
okay. I don't think I've ever heard Bernie Sanders described as far right, but okay. Um, yeah, but it's just so interesting that it would be Biden, right? Like if Buttigieg was in the lead and everybody was consolidating behind him and he had the best shot for Super Tuesday, then I would be like, okay. If it was Michael Bloomberg, then I'd be like, okay, I guess the money thing really does work. Okay. But Joe Biden is really like, you're that desperate, huh? You're that desperate, huh? It's just Joe Biden. Like, I really don't think Joe Biden would stand a chance. Well, I don't know. It's interesting because demographically, Joe Biden is really appealing. And demographically, he probably has the best map of anybody in terms of like his path to win the election. But I just really don't think that he can handle the campaign. Like he's always been gaffe prone, and now it seems like he's getting senile too. Uh, yeah, like I really don't think that this could go worse for Democrats right now. But they all putting their money behind Joe Biden, and in my mind, the only reasonable explanation can be that they are really that concerned about Bernie Sanders. Like they think if Bernie Sanders wins, that it would be so destructive to the party that they just can't let it happen. They're willing to blow this election to prevent Bernie Sanders from taking over the party. That's what I think is going on.
Air Cages says I'm late. Who do you think you are, Seth? My
Yeah.
asshole boss?
Come on, we start here at 6:20. Come on, man. Early bird gets the worm.
Antenna Wild says Biden has early stage dementia. Trump will eat his lunch, spill his soda and leave dirty wrappers all over the debate floor. Harishikesh Vyas says what spreads do you use, Seth? Winston's mom says far right. I should have written this as the extreme side of the Democratic Party, not right wing.
Yeah.
I meant that as an example to explain each party has
Yeah,
extremes.
he's the extreme socialist progressive wing of the party, right? Yes. The spreads that I'm going to look at are just the treasury spreads. So in particular, the spread between the 10-year and the 30-year, which we call the knob. And then the spreads between the 10-year and the 5-year FYT, and between the 10-year and 2-year, which is, the big one that everybody looks at for yield curve inversion. I'm only look at it on long-term charts. So if we come back over here to my volume profile charts and I come to the ZN, so here you can see here's the 2 and 10-year spread. So, they were very much inverted. It's coming back a little bit. Here it is, the ZB spread. So you can actually see that the different parts of the curve are kind of go in different directions. The higher end of the curve is actually flattening a little bit. So, steepening a little bit. So, yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. And I have an indicator out there. I think you can put it. It's in the downloads channel for the spreads. Okay, so we got some more extended downside in the Treasury. In the E-mini. We haven't gotten a really strong buy yet. It could come in. If I get around 73, I might have to take that one. Morning Joe yesterday questions Sanders' health and age. Well, I mean, I would question. So that's the crazy thing is that, like, Donald Trump is the youngest one running right now. Like, he had, like, heart problems. I honestly uh, I believe that Bernie Sanders continuing his campaign after being hospitalized for a heart condition is very irresponsible. Okay, so here's my. Nope. Oh, fine.
RJ Wheel says no, I'm not a supporter. But I hate seeing democracy thwarted. Antenna Wild says Dick Cheney had 4 heart attacks and ran the country fine for 8 years.
Did he have 4 heart attacks?
Harishikesh Vyas says, do you think it's buy time or do we wait for another drop before a goodbye?
Well, I got a long signal there. That beep was a signal for me to get in, and so I'm taking it. I might be. There's a really good chance I get stopped out because this market is just so loose, and it's a sim order. But it's going okay so far.
Uzi Knesset says screens. Winston's mom says RJ Wheel, I understand and hear you. RJ Wheel says by the corporate elites. They tried last time with Clinton. See how that worked. Now with Biden proves they learned nothing.
Well, I got... Damn. Whoa. Should... See, I only lost a little bit on that one, right? Right there. Let's see if they're still insistent on it or not. Okay. So see, I want to get 8 to 16. Or it just barely touched 16. But look how fast it comes back. Man. This market.
Air Cages says I've been looking into VWMA and SMA combo. Pretty nice.
Yeah? I think there's things about it that I really like. Okay. That's pretty good right there. 30. It's gonna come all the way back again. You gotta be kidding me. Well, this is so volatile. We're literally trading like 32 ticks up and down. Look at this. So 72 is 16. 74 is 24. Yeah, that was some good stops up there that they got at 74. I think I can hold it. In fact, I think that they're going to come up here into the open
Live Action
now.
says those ticks yesterday constantly hitting plus 1000 was a nice heads up to that big move realized after the fact news was helping.
I'm going to move this over here to help me self-track where I'm at today. Where's the open? Don't have it listed for some reason. They just bounced off of it though. It was 77. 77 was the open. I think that they'll have another run or two at it. If they get above it, might see some stops.
Winston's mom says RJ Wheel, have you read Jane Meyer's book, Dark Money? Do you listen to Rick Wilson? Have you read Plato's Republic? Lol.
You see that?
Antenna Wild says RJ Wheel is correct. Biden will lose, but the Democrat elites prefer Trump over Sanders because Sanders will kick them all out. So it's a win-win for the Democrat and Republican establishment.
Well, don't be so cynical about it. Like, I think that there are a lot of people in the Democrat Party that are not socialists. And even though they believe in strong social programs, they don't believe in a complete government takeover of an industry. That it's not constitutional, in my opinion. And I think that there are more people in the Democrat Party that believe that than the Bernie Sanders online activists realize.
RJ Wheel says funny. I have read Meyer, and just yesterday I watched a lecture by her on YouTube.
And yeah, they're willing to completely throw the election to avoid becoming a socialist party. I really think that's what it comes down to. Okay. So sellers are trying really, really hard to keep us below the open. I don't know if I should let it ride or not.
RJ Wheels says Dark Money is a must-read for left and right.
Okay, an increase in volatility. Move up.
Air Cages says, are you trading this live?
No, this one's not live. It's making me awfully nervous, though.
Winston's mom says, RJ Wheel, there is a terrific little bookstore in Washington called Politics and Prose. They do book readings and everyone who writes about politics appears at book signings. They YouTube now.
All right, we gotta get out. Should have taken the profits on that a lot earlier, huh?
RJ Wheel says, yeah, saw a Jane 1 yesterday. Winston's mom says, RJ Wheel, do you listen to Beau of the Fifth Column?
So now that they're coming back down to 65.
RJ Wheel says, no, never heard of him. ILLCHRCK.
That move down was a little bit too fast, actually. I don't know about that one. No, I don't like
RJ Wheel says, check.
that. Did sellers already overextend? That one was kind of off plan anyways, so there's 67. It doesn't look safe to me. Take 70 again. Okay. Still battling out there pretty heavily. Spot's holding okay. Let's just try the small ones. That one would have already filled. Oh man, see, like I waited too long. Come on. Oh, don't be like that. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Oh, and they didn't extend past it? Are you kidding me? Well, that's the end of that one. The deltas are long. I don't know about this, guys. Well, I wish I had caught that one down at the bottom, huh? 66 looks unsafe. But look at them. And then they're not able to extend any lower. Oh, so interesting. So it's not behaving the way that it was yesterday, is it? Seems like it's giving me that one. It's not giving me 67. Okay. That spot kind of looks unsafe again, but it's like 20 minutes into the E-mini open and they're still trading pretty furiously. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was worried about. The bottom of this is more like here. But it does not in line with our, well, okay, that one. They're not even going to hold that one. Oh boy, guys. The cumulative delta is long. I think that eventually they're going to break up to the upside, but somebody is fighting them really hard. And notice the treasuries are higher. They're at 27.5, and remember the reference point that we had was 24.5. If, well, maybe this is a better trade. Let's see. Mm-mm. Gosh dang it all. Mm.
Live action says Geesh markets so fast the time it took me to hit sell cost me 5 points.
Right? Suppose I'd be doing okay if I was only going for the ticks, but in this kind of conditions, I really feel like that I need to let them run for this to end up being profitable, but it's not. It's just too likely for your stop to get hit. It's not really tradable. Man. Well, I've never really seen the E-mini fight this hard. Maybe the sellers have it though. They're about to push below, yeah. Now you really kind of do have to go short, don't you? Yeah. Also, I haven't been managing this very well. So let's do that. Let's fix that. Okay, so now this move on the sell side has been a little bit different. I mean, there was a sweep right there, but it's been kind of just going tick by tick a little bit too. So, oh man. Dem sellers. They're not actually to low of the day in cumulative delta yet either. Okay. That's my get out. Wow. See, that down candle is maybe too much. Yep. You see now it's the shorts that are getting stopped out. You can tell because it just like trades multiple prices all at once. Yeah. Hmm. So 63 is where I'm kind of looking for, actually. Hmm. I don't know about that one. I think I should tisk Seth. You need to move that up. Okay. Darn. Treasuries are moving up. Up. Man. Well, 45 is the lowest they've been today. Okay. Uh, well, they might have just come short of that. In fact, this is, yeah. And now we're going to hit the bar. Are we? 58. Okay. Come on now. There we go. Good. Very good. Hmm. Wow. That's really strong. Like it's hardly coming back at all.
Kaka Silva says some big news or talk about Wall Street bet I was there and scared me. People are so bad to each other, it is like they got problem, they are not kind.
Oh, there's a lot of shit posting over there. So there might be a little bit of angling around 58. Don't like that. Whoa. Holy shit. Holy shit. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Oh my
Winston's mom
gosh.
says female
Okay,
kangaroos
we
and
gotta get out
wallabies
of
are known
this.
to use both of their uteruses, but the swamp wallaby uses both at the same time. NYT Times article: Mrs. Speculator Seth might have to step up her game next time.
They killed the demo data. Oh my god. What the hell?
Winston's mom says sorry, bad timing.
Wow.
RJ Wheels says Corona cure. Kaka Silva says hee hee. Uzi Knesset says the FUUUUUUCK.
Oh my god. What the hell? What is going on?
Lucas says Jesus lol.
Okay, there's one. Holy shit. Okay.
Harlequin says WTF?
What the fuck? Oh my, I am just in complete shock.
Kaka Silva says what happened?
I have no clue. That was, wow. Fed cut. There's a Fed cut. There's a Fed cut. Short that. Short. Oh, no, wait. You don't want to short that.
Ask Our Money Machine says wow.
Holy shit. Fed says to cut target federal funds rate by 50 basis points to range of 1 to 1.25. Fed says
RJ
fundamentals
Wheels
remain
says
strong.
Economic optimism release at 10. Did that cause it?
Fed says fundamentals remain strong, but coronavirus poses evolving risks to economic activity. Fed says vote to lower Fed funds rate was unanimous. They cut 50 basis points and it just came out of nowhere and we happened to be long. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Whoa. Oh my god. That. Oh wow. That is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, oh, holy fuck. Okay, I'm calm now. I'm calm now. Wow. Well, I think that I just got something amazing and I shouldn't ruin it. We could try trading. Let's try scalping the treasuries over here, okay? Oh, I missed that one. Saw a good spot there. This is wild. Yeah, I was long. Well, on a sim order. Let's be honest. It was a sim order. Okay, when? So what just happened was the Federal Reserve just did an emergency interest rate cut. And that news hit the market, and that's why the market went wild. I really liked that buy at 21. I missed it. It's coming back. I don't know. How does a 50 basis point cut affect the treasuries? It makes the treasuries sell? I think that move in the treasury is just people dumping positions because there's no way. You know what? I could have held that thing and gotten $1,000 on micro contracts. Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. So insane. The Fed put is back. I mean, normally I would buy treasuries on that, but. And of course, the E-mini now is completely untradeable. So where did I get out at? 31, 33? Oh, I actually got higher than this. Okay. Okay, whatever. Well, folks, we're gonna have to rename the video. No,
Block cell.
then I have to. We tried to clickbait people in with the Wall Street bets crowd, but holy shit, holy shit. How? That was insane. And they're tired of Donald Trump calling them day and night.
Winston's mom says I think naming this video, holy shit, is funny.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm just thinking about what happened just now. That was the most amazing thing I've ever freaking seen. Oh my gosh. I was long on a sim order. It's okay. Okay, now the immunity's gonna come back a little bit, huh? Oh wow. Super Tuesday just turned into Super 1 minute. Oh my gosh. Wait, I need to turn the auto reader
RJ
on.
Wheels says they were tired of Donald calling them night and day.
Probably.
Winston's mom says maybe not family friendly, but your holy shit was funny. RJ Wheels says Super Tuesday just turned into Super 1 minute. Winston's mom says you can skip the gym today, you have had your workout.
It's Tuesday, so I have to go to the gym. Hey, I'll tell you what, guys, there's 37 people watching. Wow. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Click like on that because this deserves to be my most watched video ever. I don't know if I'm ever going to top that. That was just so cool. Wow. What a move. Wow. I'm still just like in that mode where your head doesn't believe what's happening. I've kind of got like such a rush of chemicals. I don't think that I can take another trade. I don't
N. White
think
says
that
I had the audio off for that. I can't wait for the replay.
Yeah. Well, I think that because I have it on low latency.
Tayshay Noda says insaney.
That was just so insane, right? Man, click that like button, man. Ooh. So that was wow. I almost caught 100 points and on 2 contracts too. Now I'm wondering now though, like, like we were getting really good uptrends before the cut hit the market. So I'm wondering if people kind of knew it was coming. So interesting. It was a good, I mean, it could totally have happened where the momentum had still been down and then the interest rate cut had come and then we would have been completely on the wrong side of it. So I think that a lot of that was just luck, but holy crap, man. I think 36 is our record for concurrent viewers. Was actually at 40, I think, at one point. Man, it's just so. Well, way to go, pal. You finally beat expectations.
Uzi Knesset says to think ZB was baiting me into going long before that.
Yeah. Well, but
Winston's mom says new viewers, we do often have good conversations continue in the comments after Speculator Seth uploads this video. And if you have not caught any of his previous videos, Speculator Seth has Sun Conyers. Uzi Knesset says glad I was distracted by the dog lol.
Oh my gosh. So Now, the interesting thing is that our reference price at 24, we're still above that. It went all the way up to 135.06. Was it? What was it? 06 half. And now it come all the way back. But I don't think any of this, like, I would expect treasuries to move higher. That's the funny thing, because you're saying, it could have gone long. I would expect treasuries to go higher, but I think that everybody just dumped their position right there. NQ went right to the 50% retrace.
N White says NQ went right to the 50% retrace of the daily move, though.
Oh man, were any of you guys in NQ? That
Lucas
what
says
must
tell
have
the
been
story
a real.
when you get advised about being focused on the markets at UZI Knesset.
Right. that is this. Listen, if you learn anything from this video, learn that Uzi was thinking about going long, and then his dog distracted him, and he missed the most wild market move that we may ever see.
Uzi Knesset says ZBE tagged the 50% mark of yesterday's range before collapsing.
I mean, you got to realize how big of a deal that is, right? Like, when I look at yesterday, one of the things I was saying to my wife yesterday was like, okay, like 5% up day is the biggest up day that we have ever seen ever. And all of the guys on Robinhood couldn't get to the market, which is just absolutely crazy, right? Trying to explain to her. But then I was like, yeah, but markets always have a way of just, the next thing is always more crazy. And I doubt that 5% ends up being the biggest up day in our lives. But that particular move right there, an emergency interest rate cut is a historic emergency measure, extremely rare, something that you might only see once or twice in your life. And we were just there in it, and we just happened to be long in the E-mini. What a crazy thing. What a crazy thing. Oh my gosh.
N White says I was in NQ.
Yeah.
Uzi Knesset says ZBE tagged the 50% mark of yesterday's range before collapsing. RJ Wheel says that was a clinic snapshot of why you can't get lazy about placing your stop.
Oh yeah.
Ace Trade says at RJ Wheel absolutely. Harlequin says has there ever been one before?
I don't know. I don't think so. Actually, maybe, no, I think that it has happened before. I think it has happened before. Okay, so there you see the news. Oh, a brief history of Federal Reserve's emergency rate shifts. Bloomberg had an article about it yesterday predicting a possible emergency cut. That's interesting. Goldman's economists say the Fed chair and his colleagues will cut their benchmark by 50 basis points at or by the time they are set to meet on March 17th through 18th. Such a move would be rare. Okay, so when does it happen? It happened in 2008. As the September collapse of Lehman Brothers Holdings roiled financial markets and raised recession fears of the Fed cut interest rates by 50 basis points to 1.5% as part of coordinated action. January 22nd, they cut again. 2007, the Fed lowered its discount rate. The rate charges banks by 50 basis points as the subprime mortgage collapse continued to roil markets. 2001, days after the 9/11 attacks, the Fed cut its main rate by 50 basis points to 3% and promised to provide markets with unusually large volumes of liquidity. Okay, and then again in April, January 3rd, 2001, with the technology stock bubble having burst the previous year, the central bank began a new year cutting its benchmark by 50 basis points to 6%. Okay. 1998, 94. Okay, so when I said once or twice in your lifetime, that was incorrect. Whoa. Are they going to retrace this? Are you kidding me? Wait a second. Wait a second. No, 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 no. At 80, I think 77 right there. If well, it's I think they no, that's not what I wanted. Right there. Okay. Fine. I want it right there. Okay. Too volatile. It's too volatile. Wow. Damn it. I'll try it. I'm going to try it one more time. Nope. Nope. Too slow. No. I'm being dumb. Okay. There we go. 77. There we go. Maybe not. I thought they were gonna dink around there a little bit longer, but I guess not. Wow, the way that the volatility comes in is just something else. Woo. Okay. No.
Block buy.
Yeah, man. Like this way, the way this thing moves is something else. Ooh, come on. Come on. Nope, I guess not. I think these sellers are going to exhaust themselves right there. Fine. I can just leave it. Look at that. Okay, now they're going to hit the top side of this, and we might get a beep.
Block buy.
Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Now the treasuries come in and buy. Oh, interesting. Woo! Woo! Mercy! It goes so too fast. I think I might need to change my DOM here to trade this. Holy fetch. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys, this is insane. A little bit more, please. No? Fine. Watch them go up and do it now. The way that I got it set up, is those big numbers. That's funny. So there's a spot right there. Well, that one was fucking lucky. Oh, oh. Close. Okay. Oh, I had turned the chat off there. I was wondering why it was so quiet. Wow, so many. Let's start reading.
Random says hello again. Harlequin says, and why is something like that which has such a huge influence on the market not announced before? I mean, many guys surely got fucked over that.
Oh, I bet.
Winston's mom says Kramer was talking about this yesterday and said rate cuts won't help the markets. Uzi Knesset says markets ain't buying it. RJ Wheels says cause now the realization set in. Emergency not cut is the word traders are hearing. It must be bad if they're doing this. That's what's sinking in. Uzi Knesset says I'd love to trade this but the risk parameters are too BDFO'd.
Oh, totally.
Lucas says today's Jigsaw webinar should be fun.
Oh, I bet.
Harlequin says asking again, why is something like that which has such a huge influence on the market not announced before? I mean, many guys surely got fucked over that. Couldn't they announce at least the meeting? Gamer Through the Ages says how much % did you make in that long? Congrats by the way. Winston's mom says speculator Seth it's time to really consider what plans you need to make if this virus gets worse and people have to stay home. I know you have cornered the corn dog market but what else do you need? Lucas says market madness. Lucas says I don't have the expertise for this. Winston's mom says the Washington Post is calling this a whirlwind morning. Antenna Wild says 6 patients with the virus had died in Washington state Monday night, and new infections were reported in California, Illinois, Rhode Island, New York and Florida over the weekend.
Okay, so bunch of things. So I wanted to go about why not say something
Live Action
first.
says Homeland Security closed office today because of virus.
So I think that the market knew it was coming, apparently. Everybody knew that there was going to be a 50 basis point cut between either emergency or the meeting next week. Federal Reserve decided to do it now. Yeah, some people get screwed over. I think that's kind of the intention, though. They want anybody that is short on this market to just get wrecked. So, yeah, have a good stop, guys. Have a good stop. And yeah, I took a bunch of trades there. I made it's currently it has me at $725. Is probably a bunch in commissions though. You notice that I had to fight it a bunch of times. Some of those I could have held and just held, but I was taking the profits because there's just so much of a chance of it coming back on you. So the recommendation is trade it on Sim. Yeah. I say I think that in this kind of action you learn a lot about how markets behave. Trade it on Sim because there's a really high chance you lose money. Okay. Now as to like, are things really that bad? the effect to the supply chains is going to be bad. I think that the market needs the liquidity. I don't. I disagree with Jim Cramer when he says that it's not going to do anything. I was said that this morning that maybe he's right, but and now I'm thinking about it and I'm like, no, because it's a short-term disruption. People need the money to invest into their businesses now to make up the shortfall over the next few months. And then when it changes, you know, so yeah, I think it could help. I think it could help. I'm gonna laugh so fucking hard if they go and make a new high today. That they came back that far and then they flip up and make a new high. But I've seen that happen off of moves like this so many times. So be very careful shorting this, guys. Wow. Talk about wow. Look at Igor's calls on equities Discord. He saw the accumulation on the bids before the news release and went long. Yeah, well, I mean, I saw it too. I mean, that's the thing that's so crazy is like I went long. I went long before. Oh, actually, it gave me my long signal before the news happened. Before the news hit, it gave me my long signal. But I was in that even before that. I was in it like at 30.50. Like I literally caught that whole fucking thing. I was long at 30.55. Can you believe that? I was long at 30.55 and I took it to 31.33. 75 points. Shit. That's insane. And I was on multiple contracts too because I saw they were moving up and I saw the opportunity to scale in. That is so crazy. I have to say, you know, when you make an order flow read and you write like that, it just feels so good. There are times when you take a trade and sometimes the market is just random. Here in the E micro, the problem I'm definitely having is that it can come out and take your stop out just so easily. But when it counts, it makes up for all of those times that it's random. And the real key is just to realize those times when it's random and not trade it. Ooh. And that was so crazy that the demo data died for a bit. Wow. Well, I traded it there a ton. I think though that because of that first one, let's see here. That was 50. That one canceled out. Those cancel out. Those cancel out. Huh. Oh, but there was those trades in the treasuries. That's why it's. So when I refresh everything, 772 minus some commissions. Probably a lot of commissions. Probably like $50 in commissions or something. Okay. Well, it's actually giving me a short signal. I don't want to take any shorts though, so I'm just going to ignore that one. Whew. Okay, what else are you guys saying?
Lucas says look at Igor's calls on equities Discord. He saw the accumulation on the bids before the news release and went long. N. White says I have a friend with a furniture company and they can't get any supplies from China in a timely manner right now. Antenna Wild says N. White, I have a friend who sells kitchen cabinets who is having the same problem. Harlequin says live or sim trade. If live really nice lol.
It was a sim
Winston's
trade.
mom says our state has suspended Super Tuesday in Nashville after this devastating tornado hit us last night.
Okay. Our state suspended Super Tuesday, really? That is just... I just want to soak it in, because that might be, even though it was on Sim, that might be the best trade of my life. Like, no joke. That might be the best trade of my life. Wow. Oh, RDUBZ said he saw it too. Looks like a lot of you guys in Discord caught it. That's what I should name the stream.
Winston's mom says you need to take a quick second and drink something sugary. Your brain may be fried and it's time for dessert, plus I haven't seen you drink anything lately.
You're probably right. It's actually time to shut things down. I'm just trying to figure out how to phrase this. Emergency interest rate cut leads to trade of my life. Period.
Antenna Wild says with this market Seth should be drinking scotch.
Let's do it. Day trading futures live stream. That's how I should do it. There we go. That gives me a couple more letters. Day trading futures live stream. Emergency interest rate cut leads to trade of my life. It was Sim. So there's the other lesson, folks. Is
N White says massive Fed cut trade. Winston's mom says before you turn us off here in Flatland and go about your real business, everyone please hit like. This day will go down in speculators' history and most likely ours.
This is that crazy day. Yeah, so the other lesson here though is when the markets are in a period
RJ
where
Wheel says what did you score on that trade?
You can't trade it. Don't trade it, because
Winston's mom says Antenna Wild Seth is a Mormon.
Tuesday.
Ask him if he has ever tasted scotch or coffee. Lol.
The trade was worth over $700. I'll show you. I didn't even show you guys this, did I? So here's where I was
Antenna
going
Wild
through and I was
says
saying,
good. More scotch for me.
Okay, I was trading this up in here. I probably lost a lot on
RJ Wheel
commissions.
says yay.
And here I was just kind of saying, okay, we're trading this thing. If I think it's going to happen,
Winston's mom says lol.
I'm going to take it multiple times because I want to practice managing it. So then I was getting these $30 ones. That was great. It was doing great. And then here it was right there. It was worth $760 on 2 contracts. 300 ticks.
Winston's mom says Johnny Walker, red or black, or Glenlivet.
Ooh. And then all of these, most of these evened out, and then these last two made me a little bit more. So these ones probably paid for all the commissions. And I probably could have taken again or held some of that a little bit longer, but see, some of these went like way further than. Yeah. That one's not right, because shouldn't it be more than 50 if I got
Antenna
50
Wild
ticks?
says Johnny Walker black.
Anyways. Oof. It's funny that the inside ones don't. Current trades.
Winston's mom says nice.
There's not an option to set the size of it. Just changing what it is bold. I don't know. Anyways, I set it to 8. I want to leave it there because it might be like this tomorrow. Even though I know it looks ridiculous. Wow. I don't know what else to say. Thank you guys. 17 likes.
Antenna Wild says this market looks like Trump's signature.
Yeah. I wonder if Donald Trump had any impact on that. Because he was very much last night tweeting like, hey, everybody else is cutting. Why are we not cutting? Federal Reserve needs to lead. And of course, I don't want the president to be like influencing the Federal Reserve, or anything like that. But I feel like that Powell has played it too safe. I feel like that Powell has never completely embraced the role of Federal Reserve president, in that he hasn't sat down and said, "Hey, I can make this really huge market changing decision. I can do something that the Federal Reserve has never done before. That's what I'm supposed to do as a leader." And having an emergency rate cut, I'm hoping that he sat there and he said, "Okay, you know what? No, they're right. I can cut it here, and I should, because I want to support the markets here." And I hope that he did it with the intention of affecting the markets in the maximum way that he could, and all that, because I just feel like he played it too safe.
Winston's mom says, I had the trade of my life. Nobody puts baby in a corner. That is a reference to the movie, Dirty Dancing, and perhaps dirty is the keyword here. Lol, yes.
Yeah.
He was tweeting like crazy
Good
last
movie.
night.
Okay, so I'm not going to jinx it anymore. It was good. All of that scalping was good. Obviously, if that trade hadn't have happened, then those other trades wouldn't have worked out. And so we got to go back into this thing where it's like, okay, when we're in these kinds of market conditions, you're going to get stopped out a lot, and it's probably wise to stay away. But if you're able to handle the risk, it can pay dividends. Eventually, you get something that just really runs. So, or you just trade at Sim, and then you can have that experience. Wow. Okay. I hope that it doesn't disappoint anybody that it was Sim. I'm sure that some people will be like, well, yeah, but it was Sims, doesn't matter. But like, you don't trade that market live unless you have a really big account. So, this is good experience to have, regardless. Okay, I will catch you guys tomorrow, and in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.